So you can't get any more bullish than that, right? So yeah, this is part 2 of the crypto update for Friday. Um, so yeah, I think this is a good spot here to consolidate. What we don't want to do is break below the bull market support band here for H bar. We want to continue to hold it, and we want to build structure in here, go sideways, and then we want to start pushing higher. Now, does that mean we can't go lower in the meantime within this range? Of course, right? I mean, as long as we don't break the low, as long as we hold these two black lines, you know, we could play around a little bit. We can even spike below it just real quick. Is, you know, whatever it is, you know, we want to see it within the realm of this range. So that's kind of what I'm expecting here. Now, if we come down and we come up and we get rejected, and then we start rocking down, then it's obviously going to completely change, right? But until that happens, we have to assume that it's going to hold. So until it breaks, we have to assume it's going to hold. So, yeah, I think this is, a nice flat here, and we're sort of just drizzling here, and we want to see it continue. Kind of like right here, here's a good example, right? You have a big crash, you come back up, and then you have this three-way pullback. You're drizzling, drizzle, drizzle, drizzle down, right? You're basically coming back down to the low here. So you take this area, this little, I guess it's a wick or something, but cut it in half, 50%. Look at that. That's exactly where we came, right? So we had that sort of drizzle down, right? If we look at H bar real quick, it's the same kind of price structure. Look at this. See that? So here we go. They're side by side here. Let me just put it right about there. There we go, right? So you have a big move down, come right back up. Big move down, come right back up. And then you sort of drizzle, 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 drizzle down. Same thing here, drizzle, drizzle. You know, you're basically what it's doing is it's giving time. It's giving people time to think, right? Because this was a big crash here, right? The biggest liquidation event, and we slingshotted right back up. But then, you know, psychologically, people, you know, it didn't give them enough time to think. So what happens is now the price is creeping down, creeping down, creeping down, creeping down. It's taking forever, day after day after day after day. And we're going lower and lower and lower. And we're going to come down and retest these areas. It makes people think we're going to continue going down, and we're going to break that low. And maybe they're right. Maybe we will continue to go down and we'll break that low. But statistically speaking, usually you hold, right, somewhere in here. So if we take a couple lines there, and we'll do the next one there. Look at that. It's pretty much the same thing when you look at it. So kind of got your move there, come back up, hit the low, go sideways with a little spike there, go sideways with a little spike there, and then drop the low, and then drop the low, and then kind of come back up and come back down, come back up, come back down, play around a little bit, then continue higher. So maybe we'll play around a little bit over the weekend, maybe even one more little low, because you can see this one actually tested it. This one hasn't yet tested that lower part of the wick yet. So we could be, or even this drop could be this drop here, and then we kind of play around. So regardless of it, right? I mean, you can kind of see that same type of look, right? And this is a psychological thing right here. When you have this big drop and you have this three-way pullback, right? Everyone thought we were going to break the low because remember, this was a big dump right here. We dumped from 273 all the way down to below $2. So it was a 80 cent move to the downside. It really freaked the market out. And then we shot right back up to 240. But then we drizzled down. And look how long it took to get back to the bottom here, right? It took quite some time. Let's see. It took about 9 or 10 days, right? And this is a different time frame, I believe. So from this one here, we're already at 14. We're already pushing like 20 days, right? Again, this is a bigger structure though, right? So from, let's see if we can get a ratio here. That's about 3 days to drop the low. And then this one here is about 17 days. So significantly longer in time. So this could drag out a lot longer before going higher, right? But this is this would be probably the most scariest part of the market is, do we hold these lows, right? Because if we don't, then it could still be, of course, a 5-wave C wave, right? So like, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we come down 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we come down 5, and we break the low, and then that means we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 A, 1, 2, 3, there's your B, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's your C. And I would say even that could be even likely because we have 5 in A, you would really want to look for 5 in C. A lot of times the C wave could be truncated and we never break the low, considering it was such a big liquidation, a big crash, right? So I don't know what the future is going to be, but this is kind of what I'm thinking here. Number one, we come in here, we test, we keep drizzling down a little bit, and then we work our way higher. Or we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We rip the band-aid off. It happens really fast. We get bullish divergence, and then we go up, right? Because we would get some pretty major bullish divergence. Let's see. We already have a little bit of divergence, but it's really not divergence because we didn't make a lower low. But if this thing comes down and hits the low here, well, then you can, let's say it comes up, comes back down. Well, then you have that divergence of where you would want it to be, right? So actually coming down here and taking the low really fast would actually be a good thing, not a bad thing. And because it would also give you 5 waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But it doesn't necessarily have to break. But even if it did break, I don't think it's going to go a long way down. I think we're pretty close. So that's kind of how I'm assessing everything. And I'm just using H-bar as an example. Same goes for ADA, right? ADA looks a little bit different. It's got all these tops in here. It looks like it needs to come down, right? ADA looks like it has a further to go down. We want to start seeing it kind of come down a little bit more and then start picking up. Let's keep looking here. Filecoin. Yeah, Filecoin. It's just kind of, it doesn't look finished to me yet because it still looks like a little bit of a bear flag. You got 1, 2, you're kind of playing up. This is probably going to drop. It's probably going to drop. You can see we had that same kind of fractal here. Boom, 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 right? Then we drop. And we could be right here, right? Or we can even be here and then drop the low and then drop the low and then kind of go and then go back up. If that was like kind of repeating that same style fractal. How's Monero holding up? Look at Monero. Hasn't even flinched, guys. Monero is still at the very top here. Now, when I look at this chart inverted, it's actually a little bit concerning. Let's see. Is there, we're getting some major bearish divergence here on Monero. All right. So I just want to point that out. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. You can see we're getting divergence here, right? And you can kind of see it could be some kind of rising wedge, right? I never really trusted this B wave. I don't know if it's finished, because here's the thing. This could be A, B, C, or so you have 3 down, 3 up, and then you have 1, 2, 3 all the way down, all the way here. So boom, boom, boom. That's a running flat. The question is it finished, right? Or is the running flat going to be 3, 3, and then 3 down like this, and we have more to go, right? So we have this kind of this rising wedge in here. Usually they break to the downside. You get a 3-wave move back down to the lows and then go up. And then there's your, it gives the flat a lot more structure, right? So that's the only thing concerning me is the bearish divergence that's forming. If you flip it upside down, you can actually see we're trying to make a bottom here or a low, right? And it could be a little spike back up to the upside before ultimately coming back down, right? And if you reverse that, that could be a spike back down before going up. So there is definitely some downside risk, but I don't think it's too much, because ultimately we're still very, very bullish on Monero. I mean, look at this thing. We have all of this accumulation in here, right? We had a 1, 2, 1, and then another 2, and then we had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that could be a 5-wave leg here, and then we still need to flag out in an ABC pullback before going much higher, right? So we could go sub $200 and still be considered bullish over the long term. We're getting it. There's a lot of resistance up here, right? So we might have to come back down and test this trend line or even break it for liquidity and then go back up. So that's kind of what I'm thinking here. We'll have to wait and see how it plays out. But other than that, that's pretty much it. We already looked at Bitcoin here. Again, I'm thinking Bitcoin is a similar structure right here. You can see boom, boom. So we have A, B, and C, right? It's a flat. We want to go sideways in here, maybe even hit the low and then go back up. That's exactly what happened over here, right? If I put them both in the frame, you could see right here we had an A, B, C, right? We built a range, we continued higher. Same thing here. We have an A, B, C. Let's build a range, let's continue higher. That's kind of how I'm looking at Bitcoin. So it doesn't mean the low is quite in yet. Litecoin still looks really good. We have 3 waves down, we have 3 waves up, we have 3 waves back down. So, and we're also right back at this resistance area. So this could be flagging out a little bit to the downside before breaking up. And then you have a shoulder, a head, and another shoulder. So we have an inverse head and shoulders. Looks pretty good, right? You got your 3-wave pullback. So I think it still looks really good, but we still have some downside wiggle room to go, right? So just be aware of that. Let's take a look at Chainlink here. Same thing with Chainlink in that way. You can see like, for example, how this shot down, it went back up and then it drizzled, 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 drizzled all the way back down, all the way to the low, right? So kind of like what we're seeing here, right? You have a big move down, you shot the high, you have a three-way pullback, but it could drizzle, drizzle, drizzle even further all the way down here, right? Maybe spike it and then, you know, something like that. So it's still a waiting situation, right? 1, 2, 3. This could be 4, and then we could see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we could get that divergence, right? So we would have boom, boom, boom. There's a 3-wave move, and then you have 5 waves here. Your divergent, build a little bit of a base, and then continue higher. So we could still have, again, more downside, but it's all within the realm of this range. So it's not like it's going to be a big lights out capitulation, because I think we already had it. We had this big dump already, and I think the market is pretty much saturated with being oversold, right? So I like this 3-wave move in algo. You know, pump up, and then we're working our way down. This could be 1, 2, 3, 4. We could still come all the way down for 5, right? And it could be a truncated 5th, testing these lows down in here, because that's usually what happens. You have a big sell-off, a big low, you bounce back up. A lot of times you have to come all the way back down and retest those lows, and it could take a long time, making people believe it's going to, you know, keep going lower, when in reality it is already the bottom. So let's see how it plays. But if we, you know, just got to remember where we're at here, right? And if we look at Theta Fuel, for example, and we zoom out, we could see something very interesting happening. Now look at this. Now let me go to Ethereum here. And if you look closely, you can see something very interesting transpiring right in front of our eyes, right? So, and this is called the W model, right? Where basically you have Ethereum where you have this big pump, big crash, you have a bottom, come back up, come back down, have another bottom, and then go for it. Basically hit a big 4.236 extension here. Yeah, so we have a big W pattern here. And you can get something like that, or you can get a rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation, sideways breakout, something like that. Or you have the W model. So it's this one or this one is usually how it plays out. Or you can get coins that have big moves down, and then they kind of go sideways a little bit before they just ultimately go up. So if we compare that to what we see with Theta Fuel, and not just Theta Fuel, but Theta as well, but since I've already compared it to Theta, let's do it with Theta Fuel. So we can see that same kind of move here, right? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And then we have 1, 2, 3 up. Look at this. We have 1, 2, 3 up. And then look at this. We have 1, 2, 3 down, flush the low, and explode to the atmosphere, right? Look at this. We have 1, 2, and then now we're just about to get that third wave down. So maybe a little bit further to go, just like we had in here, right? And then we should reverse and then go back up. And then what you have is you have your W pattern right there, just like what Ethereum did back in the day. And I think this is a really good comparison here. So you could see this was C19 though, so I don't think we're gonna get that low, but you could see here's the low, and we came really close to touching it. So, but Theta Fuel, its low was way down here. I mean, it's still, you know, like 30-40% down, which I don't think it's going to go that far down, but it could still have the potential to go a little bit further. So maybe a little bit further down. Let's actually zoom in here. So we have like 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe we push down and get one more wave for 5, right? And then that's your W right in there, right? And then you also have that 3-wave pullback right in here. So it's right. So we're right there. We're really, really close for this thing to finish up. But you know, even putting that fractal aside, the important thing is this right here. We have 3 up, and now we're getting 3 down. So usually you get 5 back up after that. All right, so that's what we're waiting for. So, all right, so here's Solana. To me, Solana is my least favorite out of all the altcoins that are in the top sort of category of market cap. The reason why is because I just don't see any percentages for me. See, look at the difference between Solana and XRP. So here's Solana's chart, right? First of all, Solana had a massive bull run last cycle, right? And it went up freaking 100,000%. So there's really no percentage for me, right? It already went up 100,000% back in 2021. XRP only went up 1,000% back in 2021. Someone said, you know, basically in yesterday's members video, we were talking about rotations and percentages, and, you know, highlighting some things about how, you know, the strategy would look on how we would rotate something like XRP into something like Theta or ADA or HBAR or something that would give us more percentage potential, because really XRP, you know, $9, $10, $11, that's really only 200-300% away, right? So that's only a 2 or 3x, which means, you know, there's other coins out there that could give us maybe a 6, 7, 8, maybe even a 10x price move. Now, someone said, well, what about exchanging XRP for Solana? To me, I think that's a horrible move. But I could be wrong. Maybe it's a genius move, and I just don't know. But from my perspective here, I don't think it's a good move, and I definitely wouldn't do it. The reason why is because look at Solana's chart, right? Now let me put on XRP here. Now I'm going to show you exactly the problem with Solana. And there's really nothing wrong with it. It's just when you compare it with XRP, it's night and day, right? So here's XRP's chart, and here's Solana's chart. Now I want you to look at these charts. Which chart has more structure? Price structure, right? XRP has way more price structure than Solana. Meaning what? It's more developed than Solana. Meaning what? Meaning that when we do break out, we're going to have more follow through, right? This looks bearish to me. Look at this. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves up. We're right at the peak of the all-time high. You could say, well, so what? XRP has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're also right at the peak, right? The difference, though, is XRP, back when Solana went up 100,000%, XRP only went up 1,000%. But that's not even the big thing. The big thing is what XRP did, right? So we have a rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation, sideways, where Solana just has a rise, a crash, and then a retrace of 100%. So yeah, it could go up and it can go into a new bull run, but since it started from way down here, there's not enough momentum to carry Solana to a big extension, right? Look at this. If I take a Fibonacci line and I put it from the top, I'm not holding any Solana. I don't hold. I hold zero. I'm not going to buy Solana. There's just nothing there, right? Okay, so if I go up to a 4.3236 extension, you're looking at about 500%, which is actually pretty good, right? But realistically, is it going to hit that 500%? I mean, yeah, it could hit it, but which one to me has more assurance, right? Look at this. XRP, if you take the whole range right here, XRP is starting from the middle, right? Because we went into this reaccumulation range. Now, if you take the range with Solana, it started way down here, and now it's all the way back to the top. Versus XRP, it started in the middle, and now it's at the top. So look at the distance. This distance is a lot shorter than this distance, which means which one has more gas in the tank? XRP has more gas in the tank. It has more momentum on its side. But not only that, this could turn into an A, B, C before we go up. See, here's the thing. I don't know if this is a B wave or if this is a breakout into new all-time highs, right? And not only that, we have 5 waves in here. But then also, where's the reaccumulation? This could easily start coming all the way down, and then we can go sideways and then break out. Now, if that's the case, and Solana was right here, then yes, I would totally say swap XRP for Solana at the right moment in time, because it would give you more percentage potential. But looking at it right now, today, way the hell up here, I definitely wouldn't do it. That's just my opinion. But I could be wrong, right? But you could say, well, 500% is better than 230%, and that's true. But I don't know if Solana is going to even get that 500%, because it's already, Solana's been going up for over 2 years, guys. Think about that for a second. Solana bottom was right here in 2023. So here's 2023. It's going up, 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 all of 2023. And then up, 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 all of 2024. And now here we are in 2025. So it's been going up literally over 2 years. Okay. So how do I know that the trend's going to continue going up, 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 up? It's more realistic that the price come down, then go sideways, then go up, because reaccumulation resets the oscillators, resets the momentum, resets the sentiment, right? It resets the price so that it could reset the momentum so that it can go higher, because momentum is running out. Crypto is all momentum, right? That's why Solana's not going anywhere, because it's losing momentum because it came from such a low point. So these are the things that I teach in the members video. So if you want to check that out, you can. But anyway, that's pretty much it for Solana. Now, I'm not saying Solana has no room to go. Obviously, it can, right? So let me look at Solana a little bit closely, because I don't ever look at it. So, I see this could be like a 3-wave move down. We can have a 3-wave move up and a 3-wave move back down. I just don't really like the proportions of it, but we could have some kind of running flat here for a wave 4, and then we go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we finish, right? So I would say if Solana was like down here, I would say, yeah, maybe it might be worth it. But since it's way up here at the all-time highs, well, then it puts it in the same category as XRP. However, XRP has 2.5 times more price structure than Solana does. So, and it has the reaccumulation that Solana doesn't have, right? So that's what you look for in a cycle, is you obviously, like whatever asset it is, right? Let's go to, if you look at Amazon, for example, right? Amazon could be in the same, kind of situation here, where you have a rise, a crash. But look what Amazon did, though. It came back up in a retrace, but then it went sideways for a long time into reaccumulation, right? Before it exploded up. Now, if you compare that to Solana, right? If you compare that to Solana, there's not a lot of reaccumulation going on. So here's the best thing for Solana. If Solana can have this A, B, C and come back and retest the lows, maybe go sideways a little bit, just like what Amazon did here. But notice here's the top, here's the bottom. Look where it reaccumulated. It reaccumulated in the 70% range, right? The 618 range, right? But Solana's doing it way at the top. So the risk is a lot higher, right? So if we look at XRP now, right, you can see the reaccumulation in here. So let me just remove all of that. You can see, right, rise, crash, retrace, come down, reaccumulation, we go sideways. Basically, we're going sideways in here, right, before it breaks out. So, yeah, kind of like this. I would rather trade it for Ethereum than Solana. The reason why is because Solana or Ethereum is actually going sideways in here. So it actually kind of looks like Amazon in a way. Let's see. Or I don't have it up, but yeah, it's you have the rise, the crash, the retrace, and now you're kind of going sideways in here, kind of in this reaccumulation phase. So let's see if we can continue higher after, because look at this. We've been going down for how many weeks? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 weeks, right? We've been going down for 12 weeks. So the sellers are getting exhausted. We're right at support. We have a three-wave shape here. We just have to level out. That's what I'm looking for on the weekly and the 2-week chart, is for us to start leveling out, meaning come down here and start to level out a little bit, maybe even have a little liquidity grab, a little bit of divergence, and then start continuing. Basically, all of the coins are kind of looking at that. In Quorum, there's just not enough chart history here. Let's see. Oh, okay. It was on the wrong chart. Would I swap XRP for Quorum? Somebody said. I mean, yeah. I mean, it looks pretty good. I mean, it looks decent. You got. Here's the thing. I do like the current wave structure. You got a 1-2. You got a nice third wave, and you got a 3-wave pullback. It looks really good. Versus like Solana, it's already at all-time highs. It's not moving nicely. But this looks like it's cocking back, and it's ready to move up with the rest of the market when the time is right. Now, I wouldn't do that right now. I'm not sure what Quorum is or anything, but it looks decent. I mean, I do like this right here. It looks like a diag 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? Maybe we get an ABC and we retest these lows down here, and then we continue higher. I mean, that's kind of how I see Quorum, right? So yeah, I think it definitely looks like a good contender for a possible swap. But when is the big question, right? And how much percentage potential can Quorum get? I mean, it could really be a lot because it's such a new coin. But just using a standard retrace here, I mean, you're looking at 363, and that percentage from where we are now, I mean, yeah, you're looking at a 20x, guy. So to answer your question, it's pretty good. I don't own any of it. I don't trade any of it. I don't plan on to, but it's okay. We are in this downtrend though. You could see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So I really wouldn't be so comfortable unless we break this downward resistance line. So what I would do is I would have my line. It's kind of hard to know exactly, but basically I'd want to break this line right here. If we can get up here and start kind of going sideways, back up a little bit, and break this line, and then come down and retest it, somewhere right in here would be good to get that extension back up. So if we look at SHIB, you could see the same thing, or not the same thing, but you could see, again, we have this 3-wave move here, and we're working on the final 3-wave move. This has been taking a year. Not a year, but since pretty much March, April. Look what happened last, when was this? February, March. March is a very bullish month for crypto, okay? Look what we did back in February and March, right? And ever since, and that was last year, right? So basically, this entire year, for the last year, we've been going down, 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 right? And the last year, we've printed this massive 3-wave move. And we're in the 3rd wave. So this is 1, 2, 3. We're in the final wave. And if you look at how many waves there are, you typically want to see 3 or 5. And right now we see 3. We could see 1, 2, 3. Let's see if this turns into 4, and then we come down and get 5. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, right? We work our way up. That's a B. And then we come down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a C. And then we have a completed ABC. It's a flat, right? Maybe we test some lower liquidity, but ultimately we want to level off and then continue higher. I think a big reversal is coming very soon, guys. Very, very soon. Let me just get a rectangle here. And this is what we want. This is what we need to work out in here. It could take a couple months, right? But ultimately, we want to level off in here, and we want to continue higher, right? But first, we could drizzle down. Again, retesting this wick. It could test the bottom of it. It could break it. There's really a lot of things that could happen on the smaller time frames. But the point is, what is the after effect? What is the overall result of what is happening? Well, it's developing the bottom, just like over here, just like over here, just like over here, right? Look what happens when you have a big liquidation. You come back up, and then you come back down, and then you drizzle down, right? So same thing over here. You had a big liquidation, you had an automatic rally, and then you come down, 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 down. And then you come right back to the base here. So that's exactly what we're seeing now. Big liquidation, a little bit of a bounce, and now we're coming down. Maybe we retest at 50%. We'll have to wait and see. But that's pretty much it. If we look at the range here, it's not the nicest looking one. I see a 3-wave move here, but I also see 1, 2, 3, 4, and it looks like we're about to come down and get 5. So look at this. We have an impulse. We have 3 down. We have 3 up, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. So this is a 3-wave move. 1, 2, 3. So after that 3-wave move is done, what should we expect? Another 5 waves up. At least that's what we would want to look for, right? So I think we're getting close, guys. We'll see. I think that's it. There's really nothing else to say. I'm just let's go to the 4-hour chart. And let's just scan a couple charts here. Yeah, and this is, it's not like I wouldn't want to own Solana. It looks fine. I mean, there's nothing really bad about it. Wow, that's not even I mean, you could see the three-wave move here. Boom, boom, boom. And you could see we have kind of like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it looks pretty much finished, and Solana actually did break the low, did it? But we don't even have any bullish divergence though on Solana. So, but yeah, regardless, we got this three-wave move here, and I'm looking for 5 waves in here. Once that 5 waves is finished, you could see there's areas down here. There's a lot of Solana has a lot of support, right? So there's a lot of support down here. You know, if I'm holding it, you know, you might as well just hold it. But if I was holding it, I would probably swap it for something else that has more percentage potential, like ADA, HBAR, XLM, Algo, you know, even CRV. I mean, it could be a little bit more riskier. XLM, Theta, you know. But if you like Solana and you believe in it, and you know, it could be a big, 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 big thing. You know, it could overtake Ethereum. But I know Solana's had their troubles and their difficulties, and they're still a new blockchain, and you can't compare them to XRP because, you know, it's two different things, but at the same time, it's kind of the same thing. And XRP's never failed. Solana's failed multiple times, but it's still better than Ethereum. But anyways, let's see. Anything else? Nope. I think that's it. Man, what a big difference you can see Monero. So yeah, I'm definitely look out for this move down for Monero. We could come back down and test this area around $200 before going up. Just be aware of that. Jupiter. Yeah, so we're pretty much good, guys. We've touched on pretty much everything here. You got this big bearish engulfing candle. Again, bybit got hacked, so you know, we're seeing the after effect. You know what I mean? There's Ethereum. So anyways, guys, that'll do it for this video. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. And one more thing. Look at this. You had a big, big crash. You shot all the way up, and then you drizzle, 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 drizzle all the way down. You cut this in half, exactly where we went, 50%, and then we shot up, right? So it could be the same kind of style here. You come back up, drizzle down, right? Making a bottom, even a liquidity gap before going up. I mean, that's kind of the whole market in a nutshell. Look for that bullish divergence. If we do spike the low and we do get a big sell, right? Maybe there's another event. Maybe there's another hack, right? Maybe that was just the beginning. So we just got to be vigilant, but don't let fear decide your future when you know what the future already is, right? There's going to be 1,000,001 things that try to pull crypto down because it's a big threat. You attack those you fear the most, and that's, you know, this is the big transition from this analog financial system into a new digital system. So we just got to embrace it. All right, that'll do it. Remember, not financial advice. I can be totally wrong. Always know that, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Cheers.